The waves crashed softly against the shore that morning, as if the ocean itself was whispering secrets to the world. And on that quiet stretch of beach, CEO Morgan Ellis walked slowly beside her 7-year-old daughter, Aria, a girl with bright eyes and a silence that had lasted months. Aria hadn't spoken a single word since the night she witnessed her father's fatal accident. No therapy, no specialist, no comforting routine had been able to pull her voice back. Morgan, strong, polished, respected by thousands, was helpless when it came to the only person she loved more than her entire company. That morning, she brought Aria to the beach, believing maybe the ocean could speak to her in a way the world couldn't. But she didn't expect that salvation would come from a stranger. And this story reminds us that kindness still matters, because sometimes the gentlest hearts appear when we least expect them. Morgan spread out a blanket, helping Aria take off her shoes. The little girl pressed her feet into the sand, feeling it cushion her toes. She watched the waves with childlike wonder, but her silence hung heavily in the air. Morgan pretended to fix the umbrella, but her eyes burned with tears she'd been holding back for months. She felt like she was losing her daughter one quiet day at a time. A short distance away, a man sat in a folding chair, reading while his young son built an adventurous sandcastle. They looked happy in the simple way families do: sunburned shoulders, messy hair, laughter that needed no permission. Morgan tried not to stare, but something about the pair tugged at her heart. Aria wandered toward them, curious. Morgan rose quickly, worried about overwhelming the strangers. But before she could intervene, something unexpected happened. The man looked up and signed a greeting to Aria with gentle, fluid motions. The little girl froze. Then, slowly, cautiously, she signed back. Morgan's breath caught in her throat. For the first time in months, Aria was communicating. It wasn't speech, but it was something. It was the first crack in the wall she'd built around herself. A tiny opening, sparked by a stranger. Morgan watched in disbelief as the man continued signing, his movements calm, patient, warm. His son joined them, smiling, eager to include Aria in their castle-building mission. Morgan approached carefully, her heart pounding. The man stood and smiled. "My name's Liam Parker," he said aloud, then signed the same words toward Aria. "My son, Evan, is deaf. Sign language is our life." Morgan's throat tightened. She had hired specialists, traveled to clinics, searched the world for someone who could help Aria, and yet here, on an ordinary beach, a single dad and his son were reaching her in seconds when no one else had been able to. Aria sat in the sand with Evan, the two children communicating effortlessly in silence. Liam explained gently that his son communicated through American Sign Language because he was born deaf, and that ASL wasn't just a language, but a doorway for connection. Morgan listened, tears threatening again. But this time they carried something softer, like relief. For the first time in months, she wasn't alone. The afternoon unfolded like a scene from a life Morgan didn't know she needed. Liam taught Aria simple signs: friend, sand, castle, happy. Morgan watched as her daughter's eyes brightened, her shoulders loosened, her guarded posture melted into playful curiosity. The twist came when Liam gently pointed out something Morgan hadn't noticed. Aria wasn't silent because she didn't want to speak. She was silent because she felt safer expressing herself without sound. Her trauma hadn't shut down her voice. It had changed the way she needed the world to hear her. And that realization broke Morgan open. The weight of her guilt, her exhaustion, her constant fear of failing as a mother, all of it washed over her like the tide itself. She sank to her knees in the sand, overwhelmed. Liam placed a reassuring hand on her shoulder. "Sometimes," he said softly, "the way a child heals isn't the way we expect. But that doesn't mean they're broken. It just means we have to learn their language." Morgan inhaled shakily. "No one ever told me that. Maybe no one knew how." He replied that as the afternoon turned to golden evening, Aria tugged on Morgan's hand. Her little fingers shaped a sign Morgan didn't know yet. Liam translated gently. She's saying, "Thank you for bringing me here." Morgan's heart shattered and healed. All at once, she pulled Aria into her arms, sobbing quietly into her daughter's hair. Aria hugged her back, tight, real, alive. Before leaving the beach, Liam gave Morgan a folded piece of paper with a number and a simple message: "If you ever want to learn ASL, or just need company on days like this, Evan and I are around. No pressure. Morgan nodded, unable to speak past the emotion in her chest. She looked at Arya, now holding Evan's hand as they ran toward the waves, and saw hope, soft and new, blooming where only silence had lived before. Over the next weeks, Morgan invited Liam and Evan for beach days, park picnics, and quiet evenings signing simple words together. With every visit, Arya's world opened wider. Her laughter returned, not in sound, but in lightness, joy, and expressive signing. And Morgan found something too. Not love, not yet, but connection, understanding, compassion, a reminder that the world was still full of good people and that she didn't have to carry everything alone. The emotional climax arrived one evening, when Arya created a small sign of her own, a gesture she made only to Morgan. Liam watched with a soft smile as Arya pressed her fingers over her heart, then extended